God. Well, let's see how good or bad the internet is today. Probably bad. But you never know. Is this my mute key? Wait, huh? Is that not my mute key? It should be. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Not virtual camera. Whoops. Okay, apparently it just doesn't want to work. I don't. Okay, very weird. It just wouldn't let me type that bracket until I. Okay, whatever. Strange. Classic OBS. I wouldn't say classic OBS. I don't know why I'm saying that. That's not true at all. OBS is one of the best pieces of like free open. Is it open source? I don't know. Free software of goddamn all time. I saw a tweet about that. It was like, or was it a Reddit post? I don't know. It was something. And it was like, what is the best piece of free software of all time? And yeah, I had to say it's OBS. It's just so, it's pretty easy to use, but being also really powerful. And then also it's, I mean, it's just like, I don't even know if there are other options. That's how like universal and good OBS is, you know? I mean, think of how many streamers and YouTubers, like, I wouldn't say where would they be, but it's just, you know, something that they use all the time. Anyways, today is the 21st. I got a couple of updates on stuff and whatnot. Um, I have been going out with my Lumix S5 II a little bit more and taking some pictures. I did get a 28 to 70 lens finally, like a native Lumix lens. Before I was adapting EF glass for like a day or two. And then I was just manual focus because I bought a nice Sigma adapter for EF, and then it was kind of damaged, so I just sent it back. And then I was left with my little manual focus adapter, which works fine, by the way. It works pretty good, but it's just you know, there's only so much you can do with manual focus. You can do a lot with manual focus, but at some point you do want to have autofocus for, video and whatnot. Video with one person. So yeah, and also aperture control. That's kind of helpful sometimes. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I did get most of my Canon stuff sold. I have like a teleconverter, my EF to RF adapter, the big thing is my 28 to 70 f2.8, which really surprised me because I thought that would have sold very quickly because it's such a, like, I don't know. It's just like if you want a standard zoom that's 2.8, I mean, it's really like the best option because older stuff is kind of compromised and it's just as expensive, kind of. And there's no other options because Canon won't let anyone else make a lens. I mean, I guess there are other options, but it's very expensive. So that's kind of weird that it didn't sell yet. I have it listed for a good price as well, for like $875. But I guess, what are you gonna do? So I went out for the first time and actually took some autofocus pictures with my one current L mount lens. And I got some decent stuff. Like I really like this picture because the foreground here is nice and blurred, and then this trail kind of leads into I like it. It's nice. A part of me does kind of feel like, going right back into the conversation, a part of me does feel like I kind of jumped into this L mount uh, system a little quickly. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do like the camera. I am used to it now, but I'm not quite like confident with it, if that kind of makes sense. Did I unmute? Yeah, I muted. Like, I got my custom buttons set up and my menus kind of how I want it. So most of your average stuff I can do. Obviously, if there's more specific things that I want to do, I'm probably not quite there yet on that. But yeah, obviously I still haven't done like wildlife photography with it or anything where like autofocus is super critical. And it is worse, but you know, what are you gonna do? Um, I did think about if I don't know, if I really find the autofocus to be like so unusable, I could buy like an Olympus OM3 or something and sell my Olympus EM10 if I wanted to, but that's probably more just gear acquisition syndrome again because I just want the OM3. I think it is a beautiful goddamn camera. Uh, so we'll see. You know, we'll see about all that type of stuff. Ay, ay, ay. And apparently the OM3 has like some of like it's up there in terms of best like subject detection and autofocus and all that good stuff, which is kind of interesting. But so I don't know. We'll see about all that stuff later. I'm not super concerned about it right now. I also kind of have to ask myself, do I really want to keep? I don't know. 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 I do not know. Uh, my 50 mil f1.4 Sigma got delivered today, so I'm gonna go home and take a look at that. I'm still so excited for that lens because so yeah, I'm really excited for that Sigma lens just because I don't know. I like primes. I don't mind them at all. I know some people are kind of very adverse to primes, but I like them. I think they're good, cool. Uh, the 50 mil that I had before, which was a Canon EF 50 millimeter f1.82, was really bad. Unfortunately, it was just bad. The corners were horrendous. The sharpness was in the middle, like okay, at f1.8. Uh, a good amount of chromatic aberration, but not too bad actually. It wasn't horrible purple fringing. But the big thing for me was just it was really like the corners, to be honest with you, because not only were they super dark to the point where even in-camera corrections kind of just had a problem with brightening it in certain situations. It was just so dark. Uh, but the softness, man, like the softness is crazy on that lens. It's crazy, crazy. It might have been. I don't know. I thought it was just like that. It might have been defective. I hope it wasn't because I literally just sold it today. But I'm assuming it was just like that because you know those are very, very, very cheap lenses, plastic lens mount and all. You know, very, very cheap. Um, so yeah, I'm excited for that 50 mil because it's apparently like perfect image quality, which I'm really excited for. You know, despite me saying that I really didn't like that 50 mil, it still ended up in my bag a lot, just because it was the brightest aperture I had. And you know, for most situations, f2.8, f1.8, like you can get away with f2.8 fine, even in pretty dark, dingy scenarios. Like it's really not that big of a problem. With a full frame camera, you can either just turn the ISO up or, just turn it down to a 15th of a second, a 20th of a second, and you'll be fine. But I have not had an f1.4 lens since I bought my first camera, which is not that long ago. It was like a year ago or something, or like a year and a half ago. And I bought what was it? TT Artisan 35 millimeter f 1.4. So it was like a 50 mil, but of course it was manual focus and stuff like that. Because it was an APS-C lens, and that lens I actually really liked a lot. There was no huge downside to it, even at f1.8. Honestly, like that's kind of an unsung benefit of APS-C is that when manufacturers make these APS-C lenses, especially super cheap ones, they usually can get away with making it really cheap because there's just so much less sensor to cover. You can actually get fairly pretty goddamn good quality out of a really cheap lens on APS-C size, But I really like that lens. It was very nice to handle. I do really like manual focus or like manual lenses. I think they're kind of cool. But it's going to be nice to have something that is like perfect image quality and also autofocus, so that'd be cool. How much did it was like $500 or something. I don't remember. It was an amount. It was pretty cheap. I like it. Ay ay ay. But I suppose that's enough camera talk. I think I've said all this shit before. Uh, I'll just keep this on the screen for no reason. Because I like this image. The next interesting thing is my car, my 2000 Suzuki Wagon-R that I imported from Japan, is almost ready to be driven on the United States roads. We're almost there. I got my VIN inspection, which is required in my state. So that's good. It wasn't too hard to do. Although, now in hindsight, I do realize that everyone was giving me incorrect information about that. Um, everyone that I called at the police station, they were like, "Oh yeah, we know about those. We do those. Yeah, we can do one of those for you." They actually didn't know what they were talking about because, or maybe they thought I was talking about something else. I don't know. Because the one day it was MLK Day, and they were like, "Oh, we can't do one of those today because the records department is closed today, so we can't do that." And then I forget what the other time they said. It would me I don't remember. But basically that was completely incorrect. They don't need to do any of that. All I did was have the person at the front desk just dispatch someone, basically say, "Hey, can you just come here and do a VIN inspection?" And a cop came by, looked at the car, looked at my VIN, looked at the paper. I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm signing this." And that was that. I mean, it was pretty simple, but yeah, definitely they didn't know what they were talking about, or I mean, that's what I was expecting initially. I was expecting that I would have to kind of explain what this was and like what I'm doing and stuff like that. So I was surprised when they said, "Oh yeah, we know what a VIN inspection is. We do those." But then now that I know everything that I know, no, they didn't actually know what they were talking about or what I was doing. So my initial gut feeling is correct. But I got that, and I'm going to the Secretary of State tomorrow, which I just reminded myself, thankfully. And that will probably be so much fun. I cannot wait. God, it's probably gonna be horrible, man. I hope they don't give me a hard time. If they do, I'm gonna be pissed, bro. Oh God, yeah. If they give me a hard time at the Secretary of State, I will really be pissed. I hope they don't. I got everything, man. I got everything. Because the thing that sucks is that if they do give me a hard time, it's going to. It's. I have everything. I am okay. It's like, do they know how to do it correctly? I did. Literally, I physically drove there and I spoke to the person at the front entrance, the greeter, if you want to call her that. I don't know. And, she took a look at the paperwork, which I'm sure she does not have memorized, but she said, "Oh, yes, this looks like everything." And, yeah, we do those because I think only certain branches, um, only certain offices do this sort of thing. Not every single one of them does it. So I really needed to go there and check before I show up, and they're like, "What are you talking about? Huh?" That would suck. Especially since it was literally, it's been a while. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Um, I'm just excited to finally be able to drive it. I did drive it, obviously, to the police station. I had seen online that some people, to get a VIN inspection, they would send just an officer out to you just to sign it and do whatever, but I think that's rare. I think they would rather not do that. So, whatever. Uh, no big deal. Although I did have to drive in an unfamiliar area. It's fucking goddamn maze of overpasses and highways and shit and interchanges, and I did miss my turn like 4 times because there's only one way to get to the police station from like where I was, I guess. And it was so funny. You like took this exit, and then on this like, I guess, service drive, you would call it. I don't know. It like extension of the exit. Just all of a sudden there was like a sharp 90-degree right angle like turn. It was like, oh, do a 90-degree turn here. And you're going like 60. Like, okay. And then I missed it like twice because I'm on the wrong side of the car, shifting with my left hand, trying to look at my phone that's on my seat for directions because I don't know where the hell I am, and trying to like remember to use my turn signal that's on it's just, I was all sorts of messed up, very understandably. I'm just gonna say. So I was going in circles, but I got there in the end. And yeah, it was a very interesting first real drive.